Hey, it's Adam here, and you're watching The Culture Hack, where we're talking about how to create engaged workspaces that unlock the potential of your teams and drive your business forward in ways you've never seen. So stay tuned.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of The Culture Hack. Today is super exciting. I've been trying to get Scott Bartlett on the show forever, and he's just had a crazy summer, but here he is. He's Scott Bartlett. He's the co-founder of Blue Chip ESGR and Green Chip Environmental. Welcome, Scott.
Hey, thanks, Adam. I appreciate you having me. Thank you. You're right. It's been a wild ride to get on here.
Right, fantastic. But here we are, and we were having some fun exchanging notes back and forth, regardless. Yeah. So it was worth the wait, I think. So tell me a little about Blue Chip and Green Chip. I love the colors and the chips. It's exciting.
Yeah. No, we're pretty excited. So Blue Chip was actually named after a movie. One of our co-founders, Wayne Dunnington, who's the operations guru of this little outfit that we have. He's a big basketball guy, heavily involved in the basketball community of Alberta. And so if you guys get an opportunity, you can look up Blue Chip, and there's the genesis. I think it's like a late 80s, early 90s movie. So for all those nostalgia fans, yeah. And Blue Chip provides foremost measurement and reporting compliance services, as well as environmental, social, and governance reporting and services. We also do provide environmental and emissions consulting and environmental field services. So what we've decided to do is we ran some polls and took the case studies from our customers as well as potential customers. We took that data in, and one of the things that really stood out for us was that our customers specifically, they're looking for very strong subject matter expertise so that they can really delineate out any noise around their reporting. So we thought, well, that makes a lot of sense. We're aligned with that thinking. So we've decided to parse out Blue Chip in the measurement and the regulatory and the ESG side of the business from the environmental side of the business. Now, there is a lot of dovetailing and overlapping and whatnot, but we want to be very specific around the subject matter expertise on the environmental side, which is different than the regulatory side. So we also have a strong desire to go into the States. So with Green Chip Environmental and the big push on the emission side down in the States, we've decided to stand up Green Chip Environmental Services. We do have an office in Montana. We have an office in Edmonton. More to follow on that in the coming weeks, and we'll be all over the place. We're not hard to find once we start firing all the chambers of the gun, so to speak, with our marketing chops. So we'll get after that at a later date. And then Blue Chip firmly stood up. We're up to, I think, in aggregate, we're up to about 17 employees and contractors and whatnot. We have hit some fairly significant financial milestones. We are officially a 3 million rolling revenue company. So I'm really proud of that. That's all in under 11 months since we exited our previous employer and decided to stand this business up. So we couldn't have done it without the exceptional people that we employ and that are kind enough to work with us. So we're super grateful for them. And to be quite honest with you, I'm beyond humbled by the people that we work with. So this culture hack podcast that you're running is right up my alley. Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. Well, that's congratulations.
Thank you.
3 million in 11 months and 17 people, must have just been the trains left the station, right? Get on board.
Yeah. If you hear my voice quiver and whatnot, it's not nerves. It's I'm blown away. I'm just gobsmacked. It's right. Wild, and it has been wild, and there has been a lot of sleepless nights for sure.
Yeah, no, I believe it. So that's pretty cool. You got a team of 17 people. You've got multiple offices. There's a lot of times nothing more engaging than an exciting new business that's taken off, and it's cool to be part of it. So I'm curious, in your words, what does engagement mean to you?
Yeah, well, engagement, it's on the hat. It's doing it right.
Yeah.
Yeah, doing it right. So, what doing it right means is just fair and honest billing, excellence in delivery, respecting ourselves, respecting our colleagues, and also respecting our customers. Our customers are trying to get home. Our customers want to play with their kids on the weekend. Our customers want to get out on the boat. They want to get out on the snowmobiles. They have lives. They're literally working. They my experience is they love what they do, but at the same time, they're working to enjoy what they love, which is their family and the things that they do that the work affords them to being able to do. So engagement is for me, it's respecting that and respecting those boundaries and giving them the freedom and the space to do the things that they actually want to be doing. And for us to do that, we need to be respectful of their time, and need to be respectful of what they're trying to achieve or the results they're trying to realize. So how do we engage in that? Well, we engage in that by doing it right. And doing it right is by being cognizant that they do have budgets that they need to adhere to. They do have deliverables that they need to adhere to. They do have bosses that they need to report up to. So it's incumbent on us as service providers to try and provide them the best path to their own success. And that's where doing it right comes from. It's really all about just reciprocity and respect.
I love that. I love that it's right on the hat, right? You can just, you don't have to say anything. You just kind of point to the hat.
Right. It can be construed or looked at as hubris, but it's not. It's actually, the irony is it's quite a humble statement.
Yeah, totally.
Laden in hubris.
Right? Yeah. And sometimes easier said than done, right? Especially with multiple offices, remote work, you're not seeing everybody. So are there any particular challenges that you've run into or stories that come to mind where you've had to really work to keep that team engaged?
Yeah, no, our people, we certainly don't have we certainly don't have any challenges with keeping them engaged. In fact, we have a culture where we provide them with a lot of room so they can do their work. They're the subject matter experts. They're the bosses. In fact, when we hire, we let them know that we have references as owners. We'll bring you references. I believe that right now, the way things are shifting in the work environment, people have so many opportunities. They have so many options. They can generate revenue from home. They're literally in a spot right now where the choices are. I was speaking with, I'm going to go down a rabbit hole here a little bit. I was speaking with one subject matter expert. This individual has 3 trades. And this guy is smart. And I can't even hang a shelf. So when I speak to these people with 3 trades, I'm always blown away. I'm like, wow, how do you do that? And he's literally getting inundated daily from different headhunters. Mm-hmm. And yet he wants to come work for us. And I had to ask, I said, well, why? And his answer was, because you'll let me work. Mm. So it's about allowing them to have the room to do what they're really great at. But then how do you keep that, to your question, how do you keep that culture, or how do you create that culture? That water cooler, so to speak, culture where everybody gets to know each other and trust and whatnot. So one of the things that we've decided to do is we're having a bi-weekly water cooler session, which is nothing. It's not about work. It's not about anything. It's about all of us just coming together virtually. Mm-hmm. And literally, we understand that we bill, so we're a resource billing company. So this is non-billable time. But if we don't make that investment, we run the risk of not developing the type of culture that we want to have. Mm-hmm. So that would be one challenge that we're currently managing right now.
I love that. mean, the cost of someone leaving much higher than bringing everyone together once every couple of weeks, right?
Most definitely. And Adam, on that note, we have zero attrition. We have nobody has a foot out the door, and in fact, we could probably become an HR outfit. We have so many resumes. We're so fortunate. So many people have reached out to us. So many people want to come and work with us that we just, I start quivering in the voice a little bit because I get humbled by that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that is amazing. And, looking to the future, I'm sure the growth curve is not slowing down. So you're probably looking at hiring over the next year. And, you've talked about offices down in the States. What do you think is in the future for you guys in terms of keeping that team engaged as it grows?
Yeah, no, that's a really good question. So I took down a few notes before we met. And so the newest Gallup poll reports, I've just got the notes written down here, suggest that many employees are drifting from their organizations even when they're not actually leaving. So in other words, they're quitting and staying. Mm-hmm. And then there's 1 in 4 employees strongly agree that they don't feel connected to their culture. And only 1 in 3 strongly agree that they even belong there. So how do we ensure that our culture becomes something past just word of mouth, where people are hearing, oh, Blue Chip sounds like a great place to work, or these guys are cool, blah, 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 all that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. How do we expand and how do we grow that? And how do we permeate it outward? So I believe that for a strong culture, you want to have great marketing, you want to have great HR, your chief heart officer, so to speak. You want to have financial pragmatism loaded in there as well, because you don't want to be making a bunch of financial promises that you can't deliver on. That's certainly not in the spirit of doing it right. So how do you grow? How do you grow outward, and where do you want to go? I think you need to capture that in the marketing and the communication, that you do have a no jerk policy. Mm-hmm. That you do take these things seriously, that doing it right doesn't necessarily mean always getting it right, but you've provided a safe environment for people. I have notes all over the place right now for this podcast as an example. Mm-hmm. The reason why I have notes is I have terrible ADHD. I have a tendency to go down rabbit holes real quickly, like I just did right now. And I've been in environments where I would be scared to just say, I have to write my thoughts down to speak on a certain subject. I don't want anybody inside our organization to ever be scared to say, I have to write notes down. I don't want anybody in our organization to ever go camping on the weekend and to worry about who's cutting their throat, by working on Saturday and throwing them under the bus for not being there. When you're away from your desk, I want you to actually be away from your desk. When you're with your kids, I do not want you thinking about work. I want you to be playing with your kids. I want you to be engaged. I just want people. Doesn't mean that you won't get a phone call from us, say on a weekend in case of an emergency or in an evening or whatnot. It does. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that people should not ever be fearful for their job. And the best way to conquer that, I always say the antidote to say new process or not well ingrained process, the antidote to that is incredible communication. Mm-hmm. And so the best way to provide that incredible communication is to provide a safe environment where people feel they can call you at any time and just say, hey man, I'm having a hard day. I'm struggling today. And not be fearful of any negative backlash, either passive or overt. And so that's what we are trying to create here. So if you're in the human being resources sort of services industry, I think that it's probably best that you spend a lot of time contemplating and reflecting on EQ and your own emotional intelligence, and that'll permeate outward.
I love that. Certainly in the spirit of doing it right.
Certainly in the spirit of doing it right.
In so many
Please forgive
factors.
the word salad there too.
Yeah, no, it's great. I love it. I love it when people are passionate about this stuff, and I love that you have notes up, all that kind of stuff. So, Scott, I really want to say thank you for taking the time and sharing your thoughts with us today. It's been fantastic and worth the wait.
Thanks, Adam. I appreciate it, buddy. Thanks for having me on, and let's hope your editors do a great job of my word salads.
Hey, thanks for watching The Culture Hack. Do you want to chat culture and engagement? Give us a call and come on the show.